Hey everybody, welcome back. So I got in the new 4K release of The Fog, John Carpenter's The Fog from Scream Factory, and I did get the bundle. Now obviously I didn't get everything in. The NECA figure, which they did finally release the images from, which you can see here, posted them right here, hopefully. And I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. I saw a couple complaints, but I don't know. There always seems to be people complaining about something. I thought it looked good. I'm excited for it. But obviously, that is not shipping until towards the end of the year, so sometime in December. But they did ship me everything else with it. So before I get to The Fog, I actually do want to just mention these two real quick, even though this is not an official like pickups videos, but these literally just came in just as I just walked into the door, and it is the new 4K release of The Lost Boys and of Poltergeist. So I will mention these more when I do my full pickups video, but these just came in. Just wanted to kind of mention that I do have them and looking forward to diving into them, especially The Lost Boys, which I've not actually watched in a while. Poltergeist I've seen more recently. Lost Boys has actually been a while, which is kind of funny because I know when I was a kid I used to watch that a ton on video. So it's been a while, so that's actually going to be a fun one to revisit. Anyway, alright, so 4K release of The Fog. So I'm going to do this in pieces. So I do have the pins, which I've not opened yet. Do have the 45, not the LP. I think I called it LP in a previous video, and you guys roasted me for it, for not calling it 45. Correctly so, because I should be accurate with these things. And of course, the poster set. Let's just take a quick look here at the posters. So this is the, I don't know what it's called, the ultimate, I don't know, the big bundle. The bundle that basically came with everything. So yes, I do, there are two copies of the film here. One the steelbook and then one the regular release. So there are actually two posters, which you can see. So first one, which I absolutely love, is the original, get this in focus here, the original one sheet, which I just want to take a moment here. I absolutely love that they're doing this with a lot of their like 4K releases specifically, where they use the original poster artwork on the cover, and you're actually getting a sort of smaller version of the one sheet artwork, which is so cool because I know there's like, you know, obviously I have a very large selection of original one sheets, but I can't display all of them. But sometimes, especially if it's a favorite of film or something, you know, I have these smaller ones. Obviously they're a lot easier to, you know, get a frame for and put them up on the wall, so I'm appreciative of that. And then the other thing is obviously the full artwork for the steelbook. Sorry about the glare. I hope you see that kind of okay. It's actually very cool artwork. Now, it's not a lithograph as far, I mean, well, it technically is, but it's not on that like thicker stock that some of their previous ones. It's just on like the regular poster stock. Okay, now we dive into the movie. So let's just dive right into this. So obviously this is the regular standard release with the original poster artwork, and there's the outer slipcover right there, and there's the back with all of the details. And what I did like as an option, which was cool, is you can flip the inside. It actually does have the one sheet, you know, the same image on this, but you also have an option to flip it to the teaser poster artwork, which obviously I did here, which I thought was kind of nice. There's the alternate option, and there's the back, obviously with all the details. And of course, here's the two discs inside. The Blu-ray here, which does contain the new transfer on it. And of course the 4K disc right there. So now this is technically identical to the Studio Canal release with the transfer, because they actually did the transfer on it. But this does have a couple pluses or additions that one does not have. I'm going to cover that in just a moment because I actually have already watched this. I'm not going to do a review. It's more just initial thoughts because like I didn't go in depth in it, you know, thinking as a review. All right, so let's kind of cover this. So this is the outer box that has the 45 in it. As you can see, there's sort of an image of Blake right there. So if I can catch it in the light, holding the you know, gold cross in his hands right there. On the side, it just, you know, it has the title right there, just like the other ones that they've done. Inside here is the 45. There's the front, again, with the same image, and there is the back with, obviously, listing for side A and side B. Side A has the fog theme, side B has Walk to the Lighthouse. And here is the 45. You can tell it is colored. It's a little bit darker, but here's side A, and here's side B, which is a little bit brighter in the coloring. But yeah, I kind of like that it is blue all around. So it's, you know, light blue over here, dark blue on side A. And inside here is the Steelbook. Here's their new Steelbook right there with obviously, there's the information on the back. Obviously, this has the outer, not slip, what do you call it? Why am I blanking on what you call this? The outer thingy thing, this thing. Whatever it's called. I'm blanking. I can't think right now. Wow. Actually, you know what? I don't think you can catch it, but just as... Yeah, I'm sorry. It's getting blown out. Can you see his eyes right there? Maybe just before my light sort of blows it out, but it's really intense in person and stuff, especially when the light catches it. So, all right. So there's the front right there, which actually looks a lot cooler in person. And there's the side with the title, and there's the back with some more artwork on it. And there is an image behind there, which I'll get to in just a moment. But just real quick, obviously the same thing, 4K disc and the Blu-ray disc right there, which obviously matches. But there is an image in the background here, which I'm going to try and get to. And then just real quick, here's the image on the inside of the Steelbook. Possible spoiler on the off chance you've never seen The Fog. Here's the Steelbook. Very nice looking Steelbook, actually, especially some of the bits that the light catches. And then finally, obviously until I get the NECA figure, we have the pins, which I've not even taken the cellophane off. Let me just do that real quick. There's no point showing you anything with the cellophane on it. Get right to the pin set. So here's the outer box, as you can see there, just with the title, collectible pin set, and then there's the side with the title, the other side, Gutter Garbs and Scream Factory. Gutter Garbs did create the pins. And there's the back with a nice image of Blake right there. Get these out of here. And here's the pin set. Again, very, very nice. So one pin set is obviously the title. One has the KAB radio station kind of logo. There's the lighthouse. There's Blake down there in the corner. And then the other corner is the 6 Must Die piece of wood. So nice. I mean, as I've mentioned in other videos, I actually really like the pins that they're doing with some of their sets. I'm not crazy about the extra cost that it seems to add on. It's nothing against Gutter Garbs and what they're doing, because I know part of the cost comes into licensing and things like that. It just seems like, some of, especially I think the Piranha one, which added, I think, like an extra like $50-$60 to the price just for the pins. It was like, so that's a little much. Outside of that, though, I have to admit, I have really liked the pin sets that they've done, though. I mean, Gutter Garbs, sort of creating the pins, have created some really, really nice pins, and these are definitely more that I'm actually very happy to have. Okay, so real quick, so I did watch The Fog the other night, and this is not a review, it's more just initial thoughts, because again, I was literally just watching it for myself. So it is obviously the Studio Canal transfer from, I don't know, 2 years ago, I think it was. So for those of you who have the Studio Canal release from the UK, like I do, I mean, this is basically identical. It does have a couple of the compression issues from the Studio Canal release, although I will say, and I don't, either my memory of the Studio Canal release, either I'm remembering it worse than it actually is, which is very possible. It just didn't seem to stand out as much this time, because when I was watching it, really there was one shot where it was like, yeah, okay, I see it. And then I think there were like 2 other shots where I'm like, yeah, it's kind of there, but I'm kind of looking for it. Like if I wasn't looking for it, I wouldn't have noticed it. So the worst shot in the film from compression that I noticed is at the beginning when with the seagrass, where you kind of see like a wide shot of Blake and all the ghosts sort of standing in the fog at the end of the seagrass. And if you look, like if you're watching the screen sort of just to the right in the fog, like it breaks up pretty bad. Now, if you're actually, but the thing is, I don't know if you notice it, because if you're looking at Blake and all them on the left, I mean, you probably wouldn't even notice it was there, but I was looking for it. So on the right side, I saw it break up. And there were other 2 shots in the fog where it kind of did pixelate a bit later in the film. That was kind of it, though. So, I mean, I don't know, it's... Yes, the pixelation should not be there. Again, that falls on the Studio Canal. That's not anything Scream Factory did. I kind of wish Scream Factory would have done a new compression for it, but I know that comes down to licensing, because I think for some of this stuff, like, they have to kind of release it as is as to what Studio Canal gives them, because the rest of it looked great. And of course, what this version has, which is great, is that it has a Dolby Atmos track, and it has the Scream Factory restored original mono track. Like, that is their restoration. Now, the Dolby Atmos track, I actually watched it with the Dolby Atmos track, and it was fine. I mean, it didn't add anything. I didn't notice any Atmos effects. It literally just sounded like the 5.1 mix, which has been around for a while, which is also on here. I mean, I think I just wanted to check it out, but honestly, going forward, I'll probably just pick the mono track, you know, the original mono track. But overall, super happy to have I mean, yes, I already had the Studio Canal release, but you know, still, this is a nice release, and to have again this version with all of Scream Factory's extras and everything, like, I am very happy to. Obviously, as I mentioned before in previous videos, The Fog is very, very special to me because it was one of the very early horror films I saw as a kid. Actually, I saw it on TV, of all things. I don't know what it was. It was just, I was just at the right age, and it was just one of those films that really got me into horror films. Like, I was always interested in horror, but it was one of those ones that really kind of, it was like, I think I mentioned this before, it was like The Fog and Creepshow and, oh god, there were a couple other films that I want to go down that route. You know, I'll cover that next month. I'll do that in an October video. But there were a couple films that were very much like my sort of full-on dive into being a lifelong horror fan. And The Fog is definitely one of them, so this film means a lot to me. Happy to have the Scream Factory release, and just want to do a very quick unboxing video with you guys. So let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions about this release, I'll try and answer it as best I can. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.